This is Black Views, bringing you the Black news. Today. Seems like there's a lot going on lately, especially when it comes to white supremacy and foundational Black Americans. When we look at the situation, we look at what happened with Angela Reese, we look at what happened with Pearly Things, and you really start paying attention to people like Kamala Harris and the stunts she's pulling in Africa. So we started to see where there's more of aggressive nature when it comes to especially our younger black kids. Um, you know, they're downright outspoken, say whatever they want to say. Keith Overman, you know what I'm saying? All these people that you grew up watching, these white supremacists. Okay. It wasn't okay really to say white supremacy until after January 6th. Before that, black people were just lying about white supremacy, about police brutality. Really, no one really wanted to pay attention to what is going on. In fact, they don't even want us to pay attention to what is going on. And when we pay attention and we see the things that are happening in the news, seeing the things that are happening in the newspapers, when we see all these things happening, us as black people, we know what we see. Okay, when you listen, people think that we're embellishing, that we're making things up, we're making things bigger than what they were. There's a whole history, archive, books, documents, professionals that will tell you about red line district. Well, I'm not even gonna go as far as slavery. We'll just sit right here in modern times. You know what I'm saying? Church bombings, the Ku Klux Klan. There are people that will argue with us about whether or not if we should have reparations. As if you look and you pay attention, you see what's going on in California. Looks, this is what I'm saying. See, the more that the true black media beats on that drum, and the more that we sound off about the atrocities and the things that are happening every day in our lives, they have to come through with this. Okay, so that's a good thing that's going on. I think in California, at least there's a discussion. We're owed more than billions. We're somewhere in the trillions. In fact, I feel, me personally, 60 to 100 trillion is best. I've always said this. You can look at my past videos. I've always said that we should get anywhere between 60 to 100 trillion. I mean, and that's just facts. That's just something that we've been through. If you look at America, the foundation was built off of our backs. Okay, and every arena that you look at, we were there, and we fought in the wars. We fought in the wars before America was founded. We fought in the wars after America was founded. We have been here, and and I truly believe that many of us are the natural Indians, savages of this land. We are. If you look at the noses, look at the faces, we are the true Indians of North America, mixed in with some transatlantic slave trade. Some of that is mixed in together because you have to take in consideration, a foreigner from another land is not and doesn't know how to work the crops, doesn't know how to work the land that you actually see, because it takes time to learn that. So when you think about it, just think about who the Native Americans are. So the first topic I want to talk about Angela Reese. Okay, she's American. If you don't already know, she's an American basketball player, LSU for the LSU Tigers in the Southeastern Conference. Okay, she's from Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, a Maryland native, and she went to the University of Maryland and then later transferred to LSU. Okay, here's a young lady who basically played hard and played to the best of her abilities. When you talk about female basketball, a lot of times we do overlook them because they don't really get that praise, that they should get. And she played against a young lady from the Iowa Hawkeyes called Caitlin Clark. That's her name. And Caitlin Clark, I don't really have any. thing bad to say about her per se, because young people are young people, especially when you play sports. You know, they make gestures, they say things, they trash talk a little bit. You know, if they make a good shot, they have a celebration for it. So there's no big deal with that. I mean, we've all dealt with that growing up playing sports. You know, our coaches told us not to celebrate, but if you notice in modern times, there's more celebration in sports than ever. And it's all good and it's okay. But one thing I noticed is good for others and not for everybody. When it comes down to us, when it comes down to foundational black Americans, somehow, some way, when we do it, it's seen as, you know, something far left or something far right. For instance, Angela Reese made a gesture. She made a gas face gesture. You know what I'm saying? You see this all day in the pros and all the sports. You see players, white and black, that make gestures, that make facial gestures, that say things, you know, out of the goodness of the sport.
So Keith Overman goes on to say, "What a fucking idiot." This is what he tweets about a 20-year-old. What a fucking idiot. She's an idiot because she made a gesture.
She's 20 years old, not 30, not 40, not 50, 20 years old. And see, this is how white supremacy that runs the media are able to shape, inform, and cultivate certain type of attitudes toward black people, especially black women and black men. You know what I'm saying? We are all one people. It's not just black men. We are all under attack. Okay, black men and black women. And you know the thing about something like Angela Reese, this is where it starts at. Once we start allowing them to disrespect our young people, it's all over. It's all over because they're already targets. Okay, our young black people are seen as some type of animal, some type of being that's incapable of thinking and understanding. Then he goes back to Twitter to apologize, and this is exactly what he says. I apologize for being uninformed last night about the backstory of this. I don't follow hoops, college or pro, men or women. Men or women, I had no idea about Clark. Both were wrong. So now that he heard that, the white young lady does the same thing, now he's uninformed. And see, that's why I want you to understand how they go with us so hard, bro. Okay? When they do it, it's okay. When we do it, it has to be looked at as something bad. And see, they're starting with the youth. They're starting with the youth. Keith Olbermann, who used to work for ESPN, doesn't follow college hoops or pro. Think about that. He told sports, and now you don't follow. I mean, he was sports. He did sports with ESPN, and you don't follow hoops. You never seen young players make gestures all your years of being a sportscaster. Well, and remember, here you go. This is your Democrat right here, right? Right? They're supposed to be, they're supposed to love black people and it's supposed to, oh yeah, they did for us and all this good shit. Look, this is what he says. We're fucking idiots. But he didn't look on both sides and see that this doesn't happen in the sports. But he did it to her because he was pissed to pistivities that a black person, black woman, black man was at the top of her game. And look who she was playing against, the girl from Iowa who happens to be a white girl from the Midwest. And I take nothing because she had nothing bad to say. But, she does the gestures with her opponents. And this time the gesture was done to her. Then the president of Barstool Sports calls her a classless piece of shit. Like, look, like listen how they talk to us, man. They talk to us like we are animals in the jungle. Anything related to us, we are animals in the jungle. Then when we go back to when Rutgers, the Rutgers female basketball team was called nappy head hoes. Like, they always have something to say about our youth, about our women, about our men. it's like they're just in tune to that. They have nothing to say about the atrocities, nothing to say about things that young black men and young women go through, but they have nothing but negativity. If this is not showing you racist to your face, you are a fool. Okay? We have so much going on. I mean, I'm not even gonna get to those today. I'm just focused on her. Then the president's wife wants to invite every year when a national champion wins the championship, they are invited to Washington D.C. to see the president, as most champions are. You know, the winners, all the winners of championships are asked to come to the White House. In this exception, Miss Biden wants Iowa to come to the White House. Now, explain to me why Iowa needs to come to the White House to meet the president when they are the runners up. Never in history have the runners up been invited to the White House. Just doesn't make any sense, man. You know, when we look at this and we look back on this, you know, we have to really think about it. And I'm not taking anything away from Caitlin Clark because she did her thing. She's just been pushed out there by those white supremacists that need a talking point. You know, when they seen that black woman get up there and, you know, celebrate and be happy about her accomplishments, that, you know, her and the team, because there's white people on that team as well, not just her. You know, when they went up there and she showed how good she felt, they hated that. They oh man, that just bothers them. I mean, think about it. And these are all Democrats. Remember, these are all the people that do nothing for us anyway. But these are the ones that try to get our votes and try to, you know, speak for us and call us, you know, we're allowed to take. They took that term woke. That was a term that black people used to basically say, you know, woke, but we never called ourselves a woke. You understand what I'm saying? And so the white media found that, bought it back out, and now look, now and we're all just entangled up in everything that is ungodly. Okay, the alphabet people, we're all tangled up in that. So any group that wants to uh, move up or get their little place in I don't know, in competition, they will use the black experience to say, well, you know, black people are gay too. You know, black people, they will do nothing for them, but they will use them to push their agendas. This is what everybody does. They all steal from us. Okay? They have nothing to offer us to make us a better people as a whole, but they're sure willing to take from us, just like they did with all the patents that black people had, all the inventions that black people created. They take it all. They just steal it from you because they are the establishment. In conclusion, they show every day why we are supposed to get reparations, why they owe us. We still have an influx of people that are coming in from other countries that do not know the history of foundational black Americans. So when they hear these arguments, they don't really truly understand. They are in competition for what they think we already have. So when they sit here and they demonize us on national TV, you got everybody that wants to, you know, tweet things that don't make sense, man. I mean, you got to look at that was just Keith Overman and this guy from Boston Sports that everybody they knew who they were. Imagine the other millions of people that had negative things to say because once again, we win. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody for visiting my channel. Please like, also subscribe, and remember, be one.